Happy morning, everybody. I have another story for you that I wanted to share. Today is October 3rd, 2019, and I had two experiences really close together that were pretty unique, completely different from each other in the paranormal realm, but still both pretty significant. And so one is going to be a possible Sasquatch, Bigfoot, tree people, forest beings noise call that I heard. And then the other one is a message from a spirit. So, all right, here we go. All right. So last week I drove from here, Savannah, Georgia, up through to Greenville, South Carolina area. And I camped at Paris Mountain State Park. So I left on Tuesday and I stayed 2 nights in one campsite. And then the third night I stayed at the next campsite over. And when I was looking online at which campsites that I wanted, I picked the first 2 nights because the area of land that was behind this particular area of where the campsites were it looked like foresty. Like, it didn't look like there was houses back there or buildings or city, anything like that. It was just land looking, like as I saw on the map. So I talked to one of the rangers and she said yes, that way that's just forest, trees, hiking, etc. Okay. All right. So the third night I was there, I camped in one campsite over, and I parked my car in the area where you park your campsite, or where you can park. And it's the cement strip, and right in that spot, on the side of the campsite that's the opposite of the road that you come in on, that side is a downhill slope going down, 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 and then there's a road down below that is the only road that takes you up to go hiking. And then there's also a couple shelters, campsites out there also. And then just the state park. Lots of pine trees. There is a few reservoirs at the state park. I went and hiked on 3 different trails, and 2 of them, especially this one, you can see a view of the valley on the other side of the ridge, where you're looking out past Greenville, past Traveler's Rest, straight on, and then to the right, if you look way out, is towards Asheville. So green trees, you can see the where I am, where that area was more foothills, rolling hills, going up higher towards North Carolina. And so I looked around. I drove around in the town. So there's the state park to the left, and the rolling hills with land, and then inside the state park, I would say it's about the same, elevation as maybe the lower parts of some of the Appalachian Mountains or the Blue Ridge Mountains, Santa Cruz Mountains, that sort of thing. It's a little bit smaller though. It's decent though. It was nice hiking and all that. And okay, so the third night, I was outside, really as the sun was starting to, the day was starting to get to a point where dusk was coming, and then it got to be the sun going down, and then the the insects in the trees were coming out, and they just sounded so happy. It was just such a great temperature and really pleasant environment outside, and I was feeling really comfortable and happy and just really super enjoying the listening to the insects singing in the trees. And then the sun went completely down, and now it's pretty dark out there. I mean, it was dark. I mean, there was no moon that night, and at least that I could tell. I mean, it was like so dark that you had to really let your eyes adjust to the dark in order to see, or you needed some sort of flashlight or something like that. Because I literally at one point when I was leaving the bathroom and I was coming back, I literally had to get super low to the ground and like feel around on the ground as I was walking because I didn't want to trip. That's how dark it was out there. But I don't mind that. It was just, it was just like, okay, remember to bring something when you're walking around out there, because it was just super dark. So I was standing on the part of the campsite that is in the cement area by my truck, and I was between my truck and then this area that I was telling you where there's this downhill slope, really tall pine trees, and it's just very dark outside. It was very quiet in the area. I was as far away from the next campsite as I could on the one side where I had stayed the couple nights before, because there was a camper over there and they had their power on in there, and they were like, I don't know, like I don't even know why they camped. It's like, don't you want to hear the insects and the owls singing and all that? I don't understand that. So I wanted to be able to really tune in to my environment and look up and see the stars and that sort of thing. So it was just really nice. I was really, really happy with myself. I was really enjoying my life. It's really fun. I've been really having a good time. Okay. All right. So then I start noticing, as I'm kind of setting up, make sure, okay, where do I want to put my camp chair and put the cooler? And I was noticing that I was hearing the startings of this particular species of owl doing its call. And that's really nice. I love hearing birds do their thing, and then it was kind of like, okay, one's coming from over on that, that area, and then I was hearing another call from a whole nother area, like they were calling back and forth maybe to each other. And then I heard a different species of owl, and it's kind of like where it goes, hoo, hoo, hoo-ah, like that. And that's kind of a neat owl sound. It's neat to hear that. And then I was hearing this third owl, I say in parentheses because it was a unique tone. And I was just listening and kind of, getting myself ready to just sit and relax. And then this is what happened, okay? This is the part that is this unique part of the story, is as I've put this all together, and also as I've been listening to different people's experiences out there, and the sounds that the tree people or Sasquatch make, and how what they do out in their living their lives in the forest, and the tree manipulations and the moving around of the branches and all that. I have, in the last 4 months, my interest and my getting really into this has really happened super quick. And so I've been learning a lot really quick. So how do I explain this? It was so interesting. So I'm listening to the owl sounds, and then out from my campsite, out like in midair, out, up in the trees, in these tall pine trees area, I heard, it sounded like the owl sounds, and then quickly together, there were like 4 or 5 calls, and they were like in a close proximity to each other, meaning physically, like these beings. So they made this sound that was like, oh, oh. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's sort of like that, but it was deeper and more like, it was like a primate like tone call. And it was like, I don't know what they were doing. Like if all of a sudden they were closer together and they were just calling out to each other, like checking in with each other, or what kind of communication they were having. I don't know. But when it happened, it was the first time in my life that I've heard that. And it was a moment where it was super special. And it made me want to go closer. Like I wanted to start walking towards towards them. And then something said, no, don't do that. Just acknowledge that you heard it. That was pretty special. And then it was silent. There was the owls were done. That particular sound was done. And that was it. I mean, it was pretty neat. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever had an experience, like a mystical experience or a paranormal experience or a unique experience where you're going about just your physical life, and then all of a sudden you see something, you hear something or whatever, and you stop and you are like in the moment with it, and it can happen super quick. And it's just, I'm so glad I got to experience that. I don't know exactly what they were doing all of a sudden, all gathered in that exact spot. I don't know if I was just fortunate enough to be in that right place at the right time where they just happened to decide to be in that spot and do their little thing. I've talked to a couple people about this so far. One of the guys, he's been doing this research for many years, and he thinks it's possible that they were curious about me, that there was something about me that they knew that I was, maybe they recognized my energy or my vibration, or felt comfortable and wanted to come check me out. I don't know. It was that, so that was really kind of neat. So that was the first experience. Or actually I should say that was the second experience, because the first experience happened just within some minutes before the different calls came so quickly. I decided to check my voicemail for some reason, and I had like 3 saved messages, and so I think it was like, I think I may had 1 new message on there too. So I just wanted to check the message, see what that was about. And so I was, going through, pushing the buttons to get the voicemail to come on. And right as I'm like tuning in to start listening to the new message, I heard a man's voice say the word renegade. And it really, I startled for a second because it stood out. And then right after that word, renegade, then the voicemail started playing. And I immediately like stopped listening to that, and I pushed the buttons to try to go back and figure out what did I just hear. Sometimes like when you have your messages and is it like you're it's like one of those advertising calls or whatever, and so you get like a portion of the recording and then it cuts off or something like that. I thought maybe that's what it was. And because it was so clear and so sharp, just the way this guy said it, it was just very, very straightforward, the word. And so I went back and I listened to all my saved messages and I deleted them. There was no recording at all of this guy's voice. And then I listened to that more recent one again, and it wasn't there. And I never heard this guy's voice again. And in my history of having unique experiences like this, I feel like it was a spirit guide. And because of a different experience that I had back, I've had so many different experiences, but this is similar to one that I had back in 2007, when I was kind of doing this type of meditation to connect with a spirit guide. And it was the same thing. It was sort of like a man's voice saying one word. And so for me, I love it. I love it. I love having special experiences like this. I love that there's this connection that I feel, and that are, maybe other beings, spirit beings or other beings feel connected to me and want to maybe give me a message. I definitely am, contemplating the message Renegade. I think it's kind of funny because I feel like it's almost like he was calling me a renegade. And not like necessarily like it made me like look up the definition of renegade. And it also made me think of the song, the Styx song, where they talk about renegade, and it just kind of was kind of fun. Like he was almost like giving me a little like a little poke, going renegade. I don't know why. I don't know why right that moment, because it was literally I was just enjoying myself camping. So I don't know. I feel like there's more to come. I've been talking to some different people, getting some really great feedback on some validations on what I feel like it is and that sort of thing, and so anyways, I just wanted to share these two unique experiences that I had that were so close together in time frame, like minutes apart, but completely two different topics in the paranormal realm that happened. So thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. And you can send me a little message and say hi, or share me any of your experiences. I'd love to hear. I've been super enjoying listening to people's experiences. This new topic that I've gotten really into of like people's real life experiences with Bigfoot or Sasquatch or the tree people. And I'm realizing that I'm having these like little unique experiences, and I'm excited to see if there's more to come. On Monday, today's October 3rd, so on Monday, October 7th, I'm leaving to fly out to California to pick up more of my stuff that's been staying at my grandpa's house for 4 years. Go pick up my stuff. Then I'm going to drive down to the Bay Area and pick up my mountain bike. Can't wait. Visit with some friends. Really excited to see some people, see my grandpa. And then I'm going to do a road trip back over from California back to Georgia. And so I'm super excited. I'm going to stop at all some great mystical, historical, maybe places that have had Bigfoot encounters, or other unique native being places where they have lived, sacred land, sacred ground. I like to go to places like that and connect with the spirit. So have a great day, everybody. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other in the world, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.